Now in chapter number 5, the next topic is bar magnet as an equivalent current carrying solenoid. We have studied that the magnetic field lines produced by a bar magnet is similar to the magnetic field lines produced by solenoid, as well as we know that bar magnet consists of two poles. If we will divide or cut it into two parts, so it will divide it into two smaller bar magnets having separate north and south poles, that is dipoles in each fragments, as well as it will be a weaker magnet. Similarly, we will cut it into two parts. It will divide into two smaller solenoids having north and south poles. Here also, and this is also a weaker magnet. So we have studied this, and we can say that bar magnet behaves like a equivalent solenoid. Now let's prove that by simple derivation, that the magnetic field produced by a bar magnet at point P on the axis, vertical axis, is given by permeability of free space mu naught by 4 pi into 2 magnetic dipole moment by r cube, where r is the distance from the center of a magnetic axis to point P. Now here we will derive the value of magnetic field on the axis at point P and find the value of magnetic field and see whether it is equal to the value of magnetic field produced by a bar magnet. Let's draw a finite solenoid for this. Having n capital N number of current carrying loops. This is horizontal axis, this is vertical axis. Effective length between the poles is 2L. Direction of this magnetic length is from south to north. So let us suppose if this is the current flowing is in anticlockwise direction at this end, so it is considered as a north pole, and this is as a south pole. Current is clockwise. The radius of the solenoid is small a. The separate lengths are L from the midpoint of the magnetic axis. Consider a small length element dx in the solenoid. The distance from O up to dx is x, and the distance from point O to P is r, and here it is south pole. This length can be taken as minus L and this can be taken as plus L, because we have studied that the length direction of magnetic length is from south to north pole, and we consider or compare south pole with negative charge because the direction or the force experienced by the south pole is opposite to the direction of magnetic field. The direction of north pole is along the direction of magnetic field. So it can be taken as a positive, it can be taken as negative. Here, small n is the number of turns per unit length. Thus we can see that if capital N is the total number of turns, and therefore the number of turns in this element, small element, is equivalent to number of turns per unit length into small dx element. And we have also studied in chapter 4, topic number 4.6. In that we have found the value of magnetic field on the axis due to a current carrying circular loop and due to small element. The value of magnetic field here, which is similar to 4.6, is that if we are considering this as a small length element and we are finding the value of magnetic field at point P due to this length element, which is equal to the value of magnetic field which we have studied in 4.6, which is equal to magnitude of magnetic field at point P due to dx small current element. Here we are taking because the current is flowing in each number of length or turn, that is equal to dB mu naught by 2 I a square, radius of a solenoid, into number of turns in small current element by the distance from the current element to point P, which is equal to R minus this X. R minus X whole square plus A square whole power 3 by 2. Now if we consider that this distance R is very large as compared to the radius of a solenoid, or this radius is very large as compared to this small this x distance. So we can ignore x and a in that case. That is, if R is very far away, the distance is more as compared to x, and R is very greater than the radius. Therefore, in the denominator we get, numerator will be as it is, mu naught I a square and dx upon 2 r square. This is negligible, we get r square, and this 2 will cancel out, we are remain with r cube. This is the value of small magnitude, value of magnetic field. Now, the complete magnetic field we can get by integrate this value. Therefore, total magnetic field due to finite solenoid at P on axial line equal to mu naught I a square n upon 2r cube. All are constants. N I a square by 2 r cube and integration of small current element dx over x is equal to length varies from minus L to plus L. This is equal to mu naught NIA square by 2r cube into x. Now when we will substitute the value, it is equal to L minus L, that is equal to 2L. Therefore, we can write directly as 2L here. Now multiply and divide by 2 pi, we get mu naught by 4 pi two n. We can write it in this way: 2n into 2L by r cube into n into pi and I a square. Now we have studied that the value of magnetic dipole moment is equal to number of turns in the solenoid into current into area vector, or in magnitude form it is M equivalent to NIA. Here area is equal to pi a square, I is given, so we can write magnetic field B equivalent to first write the value of magnetic dipole moment, which is equal to capital N is equal to number of turns per unit length into the total magnetic length, N into 2L, I and the area, that is pi a square, and 2L I pi a square is small m. So here we are remain with mu naught upon 4 pi into 2 small m by r cube. On substituting the value of magnetic dipole moment, it is equal to B is given as mu naught by 4 pi into 2 m by r cube. This is the value of magnetic field at point P on an axial line due to solenoid. And it is similar, we can see that it is similar to the value of magnetic field due to a bar magnet. Now next topic is analogy between, that is similarities, electrostatics and magnetism. We can compare their electric or we can compare their dipoles, that is electric dipole in electric field and magnetic dipole in magnetic field. Electrostatics, magnetostatics. Now the dipole is given by the two equal and opposite charges. We want to find the value of electric field at point N on the axial line, and we want to find the value of electric field on an equatorial line at point N. The distance is y, let, and here it is, and here it is r. The effective distance between the two charges is given by 2 a vector. Here the direction is from negative to positive. Similarly, the strength, here we will take south pole and north pole. Take it as different point, let it be r and r on equatorial line as well as on axial line. The distance from the midpoint of the magnetic axis is y. Here the distance is r. The effective length is 2L. Direction is from south to north. Now, if we compare the strength of the poles, first one is, we compare the strength of poles. Strength of pole is given as Q in electric field and it is given by P in magnetic field. Now, the dipole moment is given as, or take the distance between the poles first. Distance between poles is here 2a and here it is 2L. Now the dipole moment in electric field is given as P vector equal to the effective length and either of the charge. It is given by m vector equal to distance effective length between the poles and either of the pole strength. Next is if we compare the force according to Coulomb's law, the force experienced by the charges in electric field is given as k q1 q2 by r square, and when we apply Coulomb's law for magnetostatic force on these two poles, it is given as F magnetostatics equal to mu naught by 4 pi product of the pole strengths by r square, and the value of electric field on the axial line, the value of magnetic field on axial line. So in general I am writing field on axis. Electric field is given as 2 constant into dipole moment r by r square minus a square whole square. And when a is very less than as compared to r, or r is very greater, then a can be neglected and e axis is equal to 2 kp by r cube. Similarly, magnetic field on axis is given as 2 mu naught by 4 pi magnetic moment upon r square minus l square whole square. If r is very greater than l, then B is equal to 2 mu naught m by 4 pi r cube. Next point is field on equatorial axis, electric field. Is given as E equatorial Kp by y square plus a square whole power 3 by 2, and if y is greater than a, then a can be neglected and it is equal to Kp by y cube. Magnetic field on equatorial axis is given as mu naught by 4 pi m by y square plus l square whole power 3 by 2. If y is greater than L, then magnetic field on equatorial axis is equal to mu naught by 4 pi into m by y cube. the torque experienced in external field that is in electric field the torque experience is given as P cross E in magnetic field it is given as magnetic dipole moment into P, B vector. The potential energy of a dipole is given as U equivalent to minus Pe cos theta, and it is equal to minus P dot E vector. Similarly, here also U is equal to minus mb cos theta, which is equal to m vector dot b vector. So these are the differences. Now next topic is we will calculate periodic time for angular SHM of magnetic dipole placed in a uniform magnetic field. We know that a magnetic dipole has two equal and opposite poles having equal strength, and they are separated by a small distance like a bar magnet, a magnetic needle, compass needle, a current carrying coil. So here let us consider that a magnetic needle is placed by an angle theta with a uniform magnetic field. That is, we have placed this magnetic needle at an angle theta with the x-axis, its magnetic dipole moment is m, and when we will release it, then this needle will restore its position. That is, the restoring torque is applied by uniform magnetic field when we will not apply any force. Then the torque restoring torque applied by magnetic field on dipole equal to magnetic dipole into magnetic field, and we can write it as in magnitude form mb sine theta, and here as the angular displacement is opposite to the restoring torque, thus we will put minus sign, and if this angular displacement is very small, then sine theta can be equal to theta. And torque can be written as mb theta minus mb theta. This is equation number 1. Here negative sign is because of the restoring torque. Theta or angular displacement angular displacement is opposite this negative sign is there. Now we have studied that if we apply force on any object, then the linear displacement is directly proportional to x and with negative sign. Here negative sign shows the restoring force in opposite direction to the linear displacement. So here it is linear displacement and the object does linear SHM. Here we are tilted this needle by an angle theta. Therefore, the torque is applied by magnetic field. So, instead of force, we are writing torque is proportional to minus theta. And this is the condition for angular SHM. Now this needle is doing a periodic motion around this equilibrium position and it is perpendicular to this magnetic axis and passing through the midpoint. Thus, it has some moment of inertia. If angular acceleration is given as in needle equal to d square theta by dt square, angular acceleration value is given by d square theta by dt square. Therefore, the torque by magnetic needle is equal to moment of inertia into angular acceleration, and it is equal to I d square theta by dt square. The torque by angular acceleration and restoring torque by magnetic field. The formula for another formula for torque is given as torque equivalent to I alpha. We have substituted the value of alpha here, and in equilibrium position this torque is equal to restoring torque, and we are naming this torque as a deflecting torque. Deflecting torque. It will be equal and opposite to restoring force. So substitute equation number 1 and give it equation number 2. Equation 1 equal to equation 2. So we are getting here I d square theta by dt square equal to minus mb theta. Or we can write d square theta, that is in the form of differential equation, minus mb by I into theta. Or as we know that here mass, this magnetic moment and magnetic field and moment of inertia all are constant. Thus we can write that d square theta by dt square is proportional to minus theta. Or we can substitute this mb by I equivalent to omega square. This equation is similar to differential equation of angular SHM. Here omega square is equal to mb by I, or we can write omega equal to root mb by I. Omega can be written as 2 pi nu or 2 pi by t in terms of time period equal to mb by I. Or we can write t equal to 2 pi root I upon mb. Moment of inertia, magnetic dipole moment and magnetic field. So this is the value of periodic time of angular SHM by magnetic dipole.